Hey guys, welcome back to Sherry's Corner. Today's video is just going to be a chat with me. I have some exciting news for you. As you can see right here, this is where she sits, looking out the window. I have a big window. Let me show you what's at the house. I have a big window, and she sits, well, I embarrassed her because I was telling on her. She sits up there and she watches the traffic and stuff. Look how big Winston has gotten since you guys last saw him. He weighed 5.6 pounds the last time I had him at the doctor a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. He goes again this coming week for his other shots. He gets some more shots, so he is going to probably weigh about 6 pounds now because he's getting heavy. But him, mommy boy, he's a mama's boy for sure. Okay, I have some exciting news and some really cute videos I want to put at the end of this video. But Garrett and Hannah, they've been married since 2021. They were married January 2nd, 2021. In 2020 it was a rough year. That's the year that I turned 50. I turned 50 in May. And that's when we were in COVID, and my daughter had a big party planned for me, and we weren't allowed to have any parties, any get-togethers with anybody. So she put together this lovely, beautiful video of my 50th birthday of my friends. They had stuff to say about me, and I absolutely love it. And my mom and dad talked on it. Well, that was the last time my dad had wished me a happy birthday because 6 months later he was gone. And I don't want this to be a sad video, but this part is going to be sad leading up to some stuff. But so the rest of that year, my dad, from May on, he was in and out of the hospital with his heart and stuff. And I told, Garrett proposed to Hannah that August. And Dakota did the pictures. And if I can find pictures, which I can, I will insert some pictures of the engagement. Garrett told Hannah that he wanted to take her to dinner, but they wanted to do some pictures for them since it was fall. And he wanted Dakota to come along. So they went up to this place, to the park, so they can do pictures and stuff, because Garrett said, I don't have any pictures of him. He just fed her this long line. And, she believed him because they were dating. So Dakota went and took pictures, and she's got him. She's like, now, Hannah, you stand here because I'm going to have Garrett's silhouette. And while all this time, Hannah thought Garrett was behind him, standing up against him. But Garrett, in turn, was behind Hannah on the dock, and it was a fall. Like, some of the leaves were falling. Garrett was on his knees. And so when Hannah turned around, she goes, okay, Hannah, I need you to turn around so I can get the silhouette. Hannah turned around, and there was Garrett. And she snapped the best pictures. And so they were engaged that night. And they come back, and we were all excited and happy for them. And so we were like, well, when do you want to plan the wedding? And they're like, we don't know. And Garrett was finishing up his ministry for his preaching. He would have finished up in December of 2020 and stuff. So he was just doing internships, and they're like, we don't know. My dad was getting still in and out of the hospitals. Well, the end of August, Garrett and Hannah both come talk to us, and they're like, Garrett doesn't want to try to plan a wedding and this, and try to look for a new church and all that during, while he's graduating. So we've decided we want to get married next year. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. 2021, that'll be good. And Garrett goes, no, Mom, I don't want to plan a wedding stuff because I want to get married January 2nd, 2021. This is August of 2020, and they just got engaged. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, why not? Who says you need a long engagement? Who says, who makes the rules? Nobody. So They, so we went over to tell my mom and dad, and my dad is so funny. I wish everybody could have just met my dad. So they're over there and like, and Garrett's like, hey, Pap, Hannah and I are going to get married. He said, you are? And he said, let me see the ring. And of course, everybody's hugging him. And Dad said, well, Garrett, when are you going to get married? And Garrett goes, January 2nd. And my dad goes, huh? Just like that. And he was like, January 2nd. He's like, what? Huh? He just kept going, huh? And Garrett explained to them that, you know, he's getting ready to graduate. He doesn't want to have to try to find a church and plan a wedding. So why he's internshipping for stuff, and like he'd already graduated, he just needed his internship hours, and then they would give him his diploma. He was like, I just don't want to do that and try to find a job and all that. So we started planning a wedding. And Hannah and them bought flowers in September, and I said, well, just store them at the house. They were gorgeous. So we stored them at my house. And then in October come around, Dad was getting sicker. November come around, we had the Thanksgiving holidays come. Come December, there was Christmas, and we knew my dad wasn't going to be around, you know, long. We weren't sure if they would even make it to the wedding, but he says, I'm going to be there, you know. But by the time Christmas come around, it was cold that December. It was cold. And he kept saying, I want a white Christmas. I want a white Christmas. And on Christmas Day, I went over to see my dad. And I'll insert the picture of him and I together, because that was the last picture that I ever took of my dad and I while he was living. I took a couple pictures of his hands, him and my hands, the night that he passed. But on that evening, he was sitting on the couch on Christmas, and he had his eyes closed back, and he was like that, and he just kept saying, I want a white Christmas, I want a white Christmas. So we go over there Christmas Day, and I sat down with him on the couch, and I said, hey, Dad, I said, it's Christmas. I'm like, Merry Christmas. And he's like, Merry Christmas. And I said, Dad, I said, you got your wish. I said, it's a white Christmas. And he's like, really? And he opened up his eyes a little bit, and we said, yeah. And 4 days later, 4 days after Christmas, my dad passed away. He passed away on a Tuesday. And so Coda and I went right into wedding mode. Like, it was just something that we needed to do, you know. After Dad passed, we were all with my dad. Nobody in this family dies alone. I was with my grandparents when they passed away, and we were all around my dad, and we were surrounded with him. We know where my dad's at today. My dad was this wonderful Christian man, so it was still hard. So after he passed away, and the nurse was there, and then the funeral director came, I left before the funeral director got there. I had told my dad goodbye and stuff, so I left. So Dakota and I come over, and Garrett and Hannah was there, and we were coming over. So I'm like, hey, I just went right from, I said, hey, what have you got for the wedding? You know? And Garrett's like, well, Garrett goes, actually, I just lied to you. Hannah wasn't able to come in, so Garrett was in. So Hannah was on the phone, and because I knew I was talking to Hannah, but I don't remember her getting in the car. So she was on the phone, that's why, because she couldn't come in. Because she was in Charleston at the time. So I said, hey, what do you guys got all for the wedding? I got the flowers up here, and they're like, the flowers. And I'm like, you guys are getting ready in 4 days, or you're getting married in 4 days, and all you have are the flowers. I'm like, what about the tablecloths? Garrett goes, well, we're going to use the plastic tablecloths from the Dollar Tree. And I was like, what? You can like use the Dollar Tree plastic tablecloths for a wedding? I'm like, no. I said, what about the cake? Well, we haven't called about a wedding cake. I'm like, the wedding's in 4 days. Nobody can make a big wedding cake in 4 days. I'm gonna let Walmart do it. And Dakota and I's like, what? So the next day, I knew one of my friends' daughters had got married. I made out this big plea on Facebook. I'm like, help. One of my girlfriends, very dear friends of mine, she is a wedding planner. She said, come to my shop. And so she had tablecloths and table stuffs, and she goes, here, take it. We loaded up my truck and my husband's truck. We loaded up. One of my other friends called, and she's like, come to my house. My daughter was married. I have all this wedding stuff. I still have the flowers. I have pedestals. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if the flowers are going to match. This is when you know that everything is just meant to be, and it was of God. We pulled up in her driveway, and Dakota and I went downstairs to look at, and those flowers matched perfectly to the flowers that Garrett and Hannah had already bought. So we planned this beautiful wedding, 4 days. It was gorgeous. I mean, they had nice tablecloths on the table, and we had the food. We already knew we can only have so many people, because again, it was still in COVID. So we ended up doing homemade Lunchables. My husband made a ham, and we had carrots, there was cheese, there was crackers, and we got little tiny things of ranch to go inside there, and then we wrapped the silverware on top and put them on top with a bow, and then everybody could just come grab and then go sit down. Nobody had, and then their waters or their drinks was in separate bottles, so nobody had to touch anybody else. And so we had the hall spaced out enough, and just enough people were there. So that was their wedding. That's just the story of how their wedding went, and it was beautiful. So they've been married now for 4 years, and everybody's been saying, we ain't gonna have a baby, we ain't gonna have a baby. Well, guys, can I just say this? Could you please stop asking married couples, when are you gonna have a baby? Because here's why. Some people, number one, maybe they don't want kids and they don't want to be judged for that. But then there are others who have been trying and they're having a hard time. So let's just have a little bit of consideration and say, when are you going to have a baby, or when are you going to have another one, or when are you going to... It's their business. And, we don't know if they can have children. We don't know if... So let's not put any more pressure on these couples to have children or to have more children or stuff like that. Let's think a little bit. Because nowadays there are people who are having a hard time conceiving, and we need to be considerate. So it's been 4 years, and, they called me on a Friday night and said, hey, can we come up this evening? And I had just got the house come. I'm like, sure, my kids can come up and visit me anytime. Well, they're like, well, Dakota's not there. And I'm like, Dakota don't have to be here. Come see your mother. I'm your mother. I'm like, why does everybody want to see Dakota? So I was like getting a little butthurt because of that. So they didn't come up Friday night. They're like, they called me Saturday morning. We'll be up early Saturday morning. We should be there about 12:30. I'm like, okay. Well, Garrett calls me and texts me. He goes, we ran into traffic. We're running about an hour or so behind. And I'm like, they're over at Dakota's. I know they're already here. So I tried to call him. Garrett didn't answer his phone. I tried to call Hannah. She wouldn't answer her phone. And I'm like, they didn't want to come to see me. They're just over at Dakota's for some reason. I'm like, it made me mad. I had all this food cooked. So I threw a little tantrum. I'm telling on myself. I threw a little tantrum. I'm eating without them. I don't care. I had my hair all done up. I didn't put any makeup on. So we ate. I started eating. I called my mom. And I said, Mom, just come up here. I'm like, Garrett and Hannah's coming in. So we're eating. I'm like, I'm not waiting on you guys. I was mad. I'm like, nobody wants to come and see me. They all want to go see Dakota. I'm eating without everybody. So they come in, and because they all tried to call me, and I wouldn't answer my phone. I was mad. So they come in. I hugged them like, why were you at Dakota's? And they both looked at me like that. And I'm like, we weren't. I'm like, yeah, you stopped there first, but whatever. You don't want to come and see your mom. I'm like, but whatever, I don't care. I'm like, let's eat. I said, I've already ate, so eat. So Hannah's like, I don't feel like eating right now. She goes, I'm just a little, that trip made me a little nauseous. And I said, yeah, because you was at Dakota's first. We were laughing about it. So then I was just sitting in the living room, and everybody comes in and says, we need a family portrait. And I'm like, they sent David in. And they're like, we need a family portrait. And I'm like, David, why do you want another family portrait? We just did this. And I'm like, number one, my hair is messed up. I have a pair of sweats on. I'm in this ratty old sweatshirt. I'm like, I have no makeup on. I'm like, why do you want another family portrait? We just had one. He goes, that was at Christmas time. I'm like, yeah. And it's January. It's the end of January. He goes, Nan wasn't here. And I'm like, oh. So I get it, because he wanted us all in a picture with my mom. And I thought, well, you know what? Suck it up. You know, he wants one with everybody here so he can take it back to Spain with him. I was griping the whole time. I'm like, I don't have my hair done. I don't have my makeup done. So we're all sitting in the living room, and we all get situated and everything. And they take the picture. And I'm like, how was it? And Kyle had the kids here that weekend. So it was the perfect weekend. Kyle had the kids here that weekend. So Dakota goes, oh, Mom, this is a gorgeous picture. And so she zooms in and she shows it to me while I pull my glasses off the top of my head. They're set, Garrett and Hannah behind me. They had she had her little stick that she peed on that said pregnant. And they had Mimi and Poppy in a picture frame. I cried. So Garrett and Hannah are going to have a baby, and the baby is coming in September, the end of September. I am going to insert the videos of them telling Dakota first. That's why they were at her house first. And then I will insert the video. I put them together. I had somebody say, so when you saw Dakota jump up and down like that and scream, did you not think there was something up? And I'm like, I combined both videos together. So that's one video, two videos combined into one. She was like, oh, so it looks like one clip, but it's two videos I combined into one. So you'll be able to watch that. And then I will insert pictures. I will find some pictures and insert pictures at the end of their engagement pictures and stuff that they had. But yes, Sherry's Corner is going to have another grandbaby in September. So you will be able to see that, and I'll just bring you along and everything. But I just wanted to get on here and chit chat with you. I know that's a little bit long, but it's a good story. It is a very good story. So their wedding story was good. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Give this video a thumbs up. Continue watching, because there's lots of things coming on Sherry's Corner.
Hi, baby.
Hi. So why are you really here? You didn't miss us for one day. Why are you really here?
Why can't we just come see you?
You're either pregnant or you found a house.
Is that right?
So tell me. Get the camera out, record my action. Tell me. Something, because you just don't miss us that much.
Why?
Because we're going to see you anyways. So why are you up here?
I don't know. Because we wanted to be.
That's a lie.
It is a lie. It is not a lie.
I got you.
No, we actually did get you something.
Me something?
Yeah.
Why? What is it?
Hey, don't pee on my jacket.
He's got pee.
Okay.
Because we wanted to.
Don't pee on my jacket.
I got right here for you.
Don't put your middle finger out and don't do the little thing.
Okay. What we wrapped it in, it's reused. Okay.
It is.
So don't get all.
You really did get us something.
Yeah. Good.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! No way! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Come here! Shut up! Come here! Oh my gosh!
Okay, you're not going to get Archie. Look at the camera.
I know.
Oh, look at Archie. She said,
He's
look, the camera,
ready.
but he looked right at it.
Okay, do I just hit
You
the...
just hit it.
All right,
Oh my hair.
And then
I
it'll
look
calm down.
hideous.
You look good.
ready?
You look good. Yeah, you do. I'm telling you.
I should look at the camera, not at me.
Kyle,
Okay,
You good.
let's go
It's
check
just-
it.
it's just too much
Stay where
fan.
you're at.
Everybody stay where they're
Stay
at.
where you're at.
This is too much fan, Kyle.
Great.
was it good?
It was good.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh my goodness, you got it. Oh my goodness.
I knew it was not that. I don't know if it was you or them, but I knew.
It was them this time.
I was smiling at the
But I
phone.
do want the picture.
I'm gonna be an uncle.
You're gonna be an uncle.
I'm gonna be an uncle too. Yes,
Come here, baby.
that will have to come for sure next year.
We like just found out. Okay.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a blessed day. I'll see you around the corner.